Jun Kim's boots made heavy sounds on the metal floor as he walked home. His shoulders hurt after 12 hours of working in the mines. All he wanted was to see Hannah's smile. His daughter was the only light in his life since his wife died 3 years ago. The mining colony on planet Nexus was not a good place to raise a child. The air outside was bad. The buildings were old and dirty. But it paid well, and Jun saved every credit. In 2 more years, they could move to a better planet. Hannah, I'm home, Jun called as the door to their small living space slid open. No answer came back. Hannah. He called again, walking to her room. The door was broken. Inside, chairs were knocked over. Hannah's books lay on the floor. Her school tablet was cracked on the ground. Jun's heart beat fast. His hand shook as he pulled out his comm device. Security. My daughter is missing. Someone broke into our home, he said, his voice breaking. 2 security officers came 20 minutes later. They looked bored as they checked the room. We'll need to see the security footage, one officer said. Jun pulled up the video feed on his wall screen. At first, it showed nothing, just an empty room, while Hannah should have been doing homework. Then the screen went black for 10 seconds. When the picture came back, 3 tall figures stood in the room. Freeze that image, the second officer said, suddenly alert. The screen showed 3 beings unlike humans. They stood over 2 meters tall with gray-blue skin and 4 arms each. Their heads had no hair, and their eyes were large and black. Valerie, the first officer whispered, her face going pale. The video continued. The aliens moved quickly, grabbing Hannah as she tried to run. She fought hard, kicking and screaming, but they were too strong. One of them put something over her mouth, and she went limp. Then they left through the window. Why would Valerie take my daughter? Jun asked, his voice shaking with fear and anger. The officers looked at each other. We need to call Colonial Command, the first one said. 3 hours later, Jun sat in a cold room at the security headquarters. A man in a gray uniform with many badges sat across from him. Mr. Kim, I'm Commander Park of the Colonial Defense Force. I understand your daughter was taken by Valerie raiders. Yes. When will you send ships to find her? Jun asked. Commander Park's face showed no emotion. Mr. Kim, I must be honest. We cannot. What do you mean you cannot? Jun stood up, his fists tight. The Valerie are technologically superior to humans. Their ships are faster. Their weapons are stronger. If we send ships after them, we will lose those ships and their crews. So you will do nothing. Jun's voice rose. We will file a diplomatic complaint with the Galactic Council, Park said. But I must tell you, the Valerie rarely return anyone they take. Jun felt like the floor was falling away beneath him. Why would they take Hannah? She's just a girl. The Valerie take people from many species, some for work, some for study. We don't know why they choose who they choose. Park stood up. I'm very sorry, Mr. Kim. Jun walked back to his empty home. His mind raced with terrible thoughts of what might happen to Hannah. She would be scared, alone, waiting for him to save her. The Colonial Defense Force would do nothing. The mining company would do nothing. No one would help. Jun looked at the picture of his wife on the wall. I will find her, he promised. That night, Jun made a plan. He put his savings chip into his pocket. He packed a small bag with clothes and food. He took his mining tools and the gun he kept hidden under his bed. By morning, he had sold his home and belongings. With the money, he bought a small old ship from a trader who didn't ask questions. The ship wasn't much, just an engine, living space for one person, and basic controls. But it could fly between stars. It could follow the Valerie. As Jun lifted off from Nexus, he looked at Hannah's picture on the ship's dashboard. I'm coming for you, he said, no matter how far they take you. For 3 weeks, Jun followed the Valerie ship. His small craft was not fast, but he was a good pilot. The Valerie did not know he was behind them. Jun barely slept. He ate only when he had to. Every moment was spent watching the radar and making sure he didn't lose them. The Valeri ship moved in a strange way, stopping at empty points in space. June guessed they were using secret jump points that weren't on human star maps. Then one day, the Valeri ship flew into a large asteroid field. June had to follow. "This is too dangerous," he said to himself as he moved between the giant rocks. "But I can't lose them now." His ship shook as a small asteroid hit one wing. Warning lights flashed on his control panel. The engine made a bad sound. Then a bigger asteroid appeared right in front of him. June turned hard, but it was too late. The rock hit his ship's engine. "No, no, no," June yelled as his ship spun out of control. Through the window, he saw a small planet. His ship was falling toward it. The landing was rough. The ship slid across rocky ground, parts breaking off, until it stopped at the edge of a thick jungle. Somehow, June survived. He checked his systems. The engine was dead. The radio didn't work. He was stuck. Outside the ship, the air was thin but breathable. The sky was a strange orange color. According to his computer, this planet was called Eridus 9. It was marked uninhabitable on star charts. Jun grabbed his bag, his gun, and as much food as he could carry. He had to find help or parts to fix his ship. After walking for hours through rough land, he saw smoke rising in the distance. Hope filled him as he moved toward it. What he found was a small home made of metal parts and local wood. It looked like someone had built it from crashed ships. "Hello," Jun called. "Is anyone here?" The door opened. An old Korean man with a long white beard stood there. He held a strange weapon Jun had never seen before. "Who are you?" the old man asked in Korean. "How did you find this place?" "My name is Jun Kim. My ship crashed. I'm looking for my daughter." The old man lowered his weapon. "Another human. Here." He seemed surprised. "Come inside before the night creatures wake up." Inside, the home was full of strange objects, maps, and old books. The walls were covered with drawings of buildings, armor, and weapons that didn't look human or Volari. "I am Suk," the old man said as he gave Jun water. "I've been on Eridus 9 for 30 years. "Alone?" Jun asked. "Yes, I came to study the ruins." "Ruins?" Suk nodded. This planet was once home to a great civilization. They were called the Guardians. They died out thousands of years ago. "I need to fix my ship," Jun said. "The Valeri took my daughter. I was following them when I crashed." Suk's eyes grew wide. "The Valeri fear this planet. They never land here. If they came near, they must have had a reason." Suk went to a shelf and pulled down an old book. He opened it to show Jun a drawing of what looked like a human wearing strange armor. The Guardians were peacekeepers. They created powerful technology, including armor that could bond with its wearer. It gave them incredible strength and power. Suk explained. "What happened to them?" Jun asked. "War. A terrible war with a species that feared them. The Guardians were almost all killed. Their cities were destroyed." Jun looked at the drawing more closely. "This armor, does it still exist?" "Legend says one complete set remains in a temple deep in the jungle. I spent my life looking for it." Jun stood up. "I need to find this armor. If it's as powerful as you say, I could use it to save Hana." Suk shook his head. "Many have tried to find the temple. None have returned from the deep jungle. It's filled with dangers, poisonous plants, deadly animals, and worse." "I don't care about the danger," Jun said. "My daughter is all I have." Suk looked at Jun for a long time. Then he sighed. "Rest tonight. Tomorrow, I will show you my maps. If anyone can find the temple, it might be you. I see the same determination in your eyes that I once had." That night, Jun dreamed of Hana and of strange armor that might help him save her. Morning came with strange animal sounds from the jungle. Suk spread his maps on the table. They showed paths through the thick trees and marks where dangerous areas were. "The temple should be here," Suk said, pointing to a spot deep in the jungle. "It's at least 10 days of walking. Why haven't you gone there yourself?" June asked. Suk showed June his leg. It was badly scared. 5 years ago, I tried. A plant with teeth bit me. I barely made it back alive. June packed supplies into his bag. Water, food, a knife, and a small light. Suk gave him a special stick. "Hit the ground with this before each step," Suk said. "It will scare away the ground snakes." June looked at the old man. "Thank you for your help." "Don't thank me. I'm sending you to a place that might kill you," Suk said. "But I understand why you must go." June started his journey into the jungle. The trees were tall with purple leaves. The air was hot and wet. Strange birds with 6 wings flew above him. He followed the map carefully. Each day, he marked his path and checked where he was. The jungle got thicker. The ground became muddy. June had to cut through vines with his knife. On the 3rd day, it rained. The drops were big and yellow. When they hit June's skin, they burned a little. He found a large leaf to hide under until the rain stopped. That night, while June slept in a tree, he heard something moving below. He looked down and saw glowing eyes in the dark. Many eyes. He stayed very still until morning. On the 5th day, June reached a wide river. The water moved fast. According to the map, he needed to cross it. He found a place where large rocks stuck out of the water and jumped from one to another. In the middle of the river, one rock moved. It wasn't a rock at all, but a large animal with hard skin. June nearly fell as the creature turned to look at him. He jumped quickly to the next rock and made it to the other side, just before the animal snapped its huge jaws. On the 6th day, June heard a human voice. "Help! Someone help!" June ran toward the sound. He found a young Korean man trapped in a plant. The plant had wrapped its vines around the man's legs and was pulling him in. Its center was open like a mouth with sharp points inside. June cut the vines with his knife. The plant made a high sound like it was screaming. The young man fell to the ground. "Thank you," he said, breathing hard. "I thought I was going to die." "What are you doing here?" June asked. "My name is Da. I'm looking for the Guardian Temple," the young man said. "I heard stories about amazing technology inside." June didn't trust him. "Why do you want this technology?" Day smiled. "Think of what it's worth. Guardian tech would make me rich. I could sell it to the highest bidder." June frowned. "I'm looking for the temple too, but not for money. The Volari took my daughter. I need something to help me fight them." "The Volari." Day's smile disappeared. "You're crazy. No one fights the Volari in lives." "I have to try," June said. "You can come with me or go your own way." Day thought for a moment. "2 people have a better chance than one. But if we find anything, we split it. Deal?" June nodded, but he had no plan to share the armor if they found it. He needed all its power to save Hana. They traveled together for 2 more days. Dai knew a lot about surviving in wild places. He showed June which fruits were safe to eat and how to find clean water in tree holes. At night, they took turns keeping watch. Dad told stories about other planets he had explored and treasures he had found. "Why are you really helping me?" June asked on the 8th night. Day looked up at the strange stars. "My brother was taken by the Volari when I was young. No one helped us either." For the first time, June felt he wasn't alone in his fight. But the temple was still 2 days away, and the jungle was getting more dangerous with each step. On the 10th day, the jungle changed. The trees grew taller and had strange marks on them. June and Dai saw broken stone paths on the ground. Old statues, mostly broken, stood among the trees. "We're getting close," Dai said, excited. His eyes shined with greed. That night, they climbed a tall tree to see farther. In the distance, moonlight showed a large stone building. It was partly covered by the jungle, but still standing. The temple, June whispered. They reached it the next morning. The temple was bigger than June had imagined. It was made of black stone with blue lines running through it. The entrance was a tall door with carvings of beings that looked almost human, but taller and with longer heads. The guardians, Day said, touching the carvings. They must have been amazing to build something that lasts so long. The door was partly open. June squeezed through the crack with Dai behind him. Inside, it was dark. They turned on their lights. The first room was huge. The ceiling was so high that their lights couldn't reach it. Broken pieces of furniture and strange machines lay everywhere. On the walls were pictures showing the Guardian history. June looked at one wall that showed Guardians giving help to other species. Another wall showed them fighting against enemies June didn't recognize. Which way? Dai asked, looking at 3 hallways leading from the main room. June studied the walls. Then he pointed to the middle hallway. The pictures show the most important Guardians going that way. They walked down a long hallway. The blue lines in the walls gave off a weak light. The floor had small squares that lit up when they stepped on them. The power still works after thousands of years, Day said, amazed. Imagine what the armor can do. The hallway led to a room with a pool of glowing blue liquid. Across the pool was another door, but no bridge to reach it. Now what? Day asked. June looked around and saw a panel with hand shapes. He put his hand on it. Nothing happened. Let me try, Day said. He put his hand on the panel. Still nothing. June remembered the pictures in the first room. The Guardians valued those who helped others, he said. Maybe. He put his hand on the panel again and thought about Hana, about wanting to save her. The panel glowed, and stones rose from the blue liquid, making a path to the door. How did you do that? Day asked. I think it reads our thoughts or feelings, June said. They crossed the stone path carefully. The next room had walls that moved, trying to push them back. June and Day had to time their steps just right to get through. After that was a room where the floor fell away if they stood still too long. They had to keep moving until they reached the other side. These are tests, June said. The Guardians didn't want just anyone to reach their treasures. The final hallway was lined with statues of Guardians. Each one held a different weapon or tool. At the end was a round door with no handle. How do we open it? Day asked, pushing on the door. June looked at the statues. Each had a word carved below it in a strange language. But somehow, June felt he could understand them. Courage, wisdom, sacrifice, protection, he read. These were Guardian values. He touched the door and spoke all 4 words. The door slid open. Inside was a round room with a high ceiling. Light came from the top, shining down on a stand in the center. On the stand was what looked like a suit of armor, but like nothing June had ever seen. It seemed to be made of flowing metal that moved slightly, like it was alive. It was silver with blue lines that matched the ones in the temple walls. We found it, Day said, walking toward the armor. The Guardian armor. But June noticed something else. On the walls were pictures showing the armor bonding with its wearer. The person and armor became one. There was no taking it off. Wait, June said to Day. We need to be careful. The armor. A loud sound cut him off. Part of the ceiling exploded. Through the hole came 3 Volari on flying platforms. They held weapons pointed at June and Day. Don't move, humans, one Volari said in a rough voice. That armor belongs to us now. Don't move. The lead Volari said again. His blue-gray skin looked dark in the temple's light. All 4 of his arms held weapons. We have followed you since you entered this system. June and Day stood frozen. The 3 Volari moved their flying platforms to surround them. How did you find us? June asked. The Volari leader made a sound like laughing. Your crashed ship was easy to find. We have been watching you. You led us straight to the armor. Day suddenly reached for his knife. You can't have it. One Volari fired his weapon. The blue light hit Da in the chest. He fell to the ground, a smoking hole in his shirt. Da! June yelled, running to him. Da was still alive, but badly hurt. Blood came from his mouth as he tried to speak. The armor, he whispered to June. Take it. Don't let them. The lead Valeri stepped off his platform. He was much taller than June. His black eyes had no feeling in them. Step away from the armor, human, he said, or die like your friend. June looked at Da, then at the armor on its stand. The flowing metal seemed to move more now, like it was reacting to the danger. June thought of Hana. He had come too far to fail now. No, June said. He jumped toward the armor stand. All three Valeri fired their weapons. Blue light filled the room. But June was faster than they expected. He reached the stand and put his hand on the armor. The moment he touched it, the flowing metal moved. It spread over his hand, then up his arm. It was cold at first, then warm. It moved over his body like water, covering him completely. The pain was terrible. June screamed as the armor bonded with his skin, his muscles, even his bones. Blue light raced through the metal, matching the lines in the temple walls. The armor changed shape to fit him perfectly. The Valeri kept firing, but their weapons did nothing now. The blue light from their guns hit the armor and was absorbed. Inside the armor, June's mind filled with new knowledge. He suddenly knew things he never knew before. He saw images of Guardian battles, their technology, their history. It was like the armor was teaching him. A voice spoke in his mind, not with words, but with feelings and pictures that June somehow understood. I am Jin, the voice seemed to say. I have waited for a worthy wearer. June's body felt different, stronger, faster. The pain was gone now. He looked at the Valeri through the armor's mask. He could see them better than before. He could see the heat of their bodies, the energy in their weapons. The lead Valeri stepped back. For the first time, his face showed fear. Kill him, he ordered the others. The Valeri fired all their weapons at once. June didn't try to dodge. He knew the armor would protect him. The blue lights hit him and were absorbed into the armor, making it glow brighter. June raised his hand, not sure what would happen. Blue energy shot from his palm, hitting one Valeri and throwing him across the room. The other Valeri tried to fly away on their platforms. June jumped, surprised at how high the armor let him go. He caught one platform and broke it with his hands, which now felt strong enough to bend metal. The Valeri fell to the ground. The lead Valeri pulled out a different weapon, bigger than the others. June moved faster than he ever had before. He reached the Valeri before he could fire and grabbed the weapon. It broke in his armored hands. Please, the Valeri said, now truly afraid. We were just following orders. Whose orders? June asked. His voice sounded different through the armor, deeper and with a strange echo. High Commander Krev. He wants all Guardian technology. He's the one who orders the taking of humans. June grabbed the Valeri by the neck. Where is his base? Where would he take a human girl? The Valeri homeworld, in the Zeta system, the Valeri said. Please don't kill me. June threw the Valeri against the wall, not hard enough to kill him, but enough to knock him out. He went back to Da, who was barely breathing now. The armor, Da said, his voice very weak. You got it. Good. I'll get help, June said. The armor makes me strong. I can carry you back to Suk. Da shook his head. Too late for me. He grabbed June's armored hand. Promise me something. What? Use it for good, not just revenge. Help others who need it. Da's eyes closed. Like you helped me in the jungle. Then Da was gone. June stayed with him for a moment, then stood up. He could feel the armor merging more with his body, becoming part of him. The voice in his mind spoke again, showing him how to use the armor's power to fly. I'm coming, Hana, June said as he left the temple. I'm coming to find you. June flew through the jungle. The armor made it easy. He moved fast, going over trees that had taken days to walk through before. The armor's power felt amazing and scary at the same time. As the sun set, June reached Suk's home. The old man came outside when he heard the sound of June landing. His eyes grew wide. "You found it," Suk whispered. "The guardian armor." "Yes," Jun said. "But Day died. The Volari killed him." Suk lowered his head. "Come inside. You must rest." Inside, Jun tried to remove the armor, but it wouldn't come off. The metal stayed on his skin like it was part of him now. "You can't take it off," Suk said. "The armor bonds forever. The pictures in my books show this. It becomes part of the wearer." "I don't care," Jun said. "It will help me save Hana." That night, as Jun slept, he dreamed of the Guardians. He saw their world before it was destroyed. He saw how they used the armor to help people across many planets. The armor, or Jin, as the voice in his mind called itself, was showing him its history. In the morning, Jun went outside to test the armor's powers. He tried to fly again, but this time he shot up too fast and crashed into a tree. "The armor responds to your thoughts and feelings," Suk said, watching him. "You must learn to control them." Jun tried again. He thought about flying slowly, and the armor responded better. He moved up gently, then forward, then in a circle. Next, Jun tried the armor's strength. He lifted a large rock that would have been impossible to move before. He threw it, and it went so far he couldn't see where it landed. But when Jun thought about the Volari, about what they did to Dai, the armor reacted strongly. Energy shot from his hands without him wanting it to. A tree exploded. "You must be careful," Suk warned. "The armor feels what you feel. Anger makes it dangerous." For the next 3 days, Suk helped Jun learn to control the armor. They practiced in the clearing near Suk's home. The old man knew more about the Guardians than Jun had realized. The Guardians believed in balance, Suk explained. They had great power but used it wisely. They protected those who needed help. Jun learned that the armor could do many things. It could make him invisible by changing its color to match what was around him. It could protect him from extreme heat and cold. It could even help him breathe in space for short times. "Jin," Jun said on the 4th night, speaking to the armor. "Why did you choose me?" The voice in his mind answered with images and feelings. Jun saw himself following the Volari ship, crashing on the planet, fighting through the jungle. All to save Hana. "You chose me because I want to save my daughter?" Jun asked. The feeling that came back was clear. Yes. And more. Jin showed Jun images of him helping Dai in the jungle, of him promising to use the armor for good. The armor had tested him and found him worthy. On the 5th day, Jun knew he had to leave. "I fixed your ship while you were gone," Suk said, surprising Jun. "I used parts from other crashed ships." "You knew I would come back?" Jun asked. Suk smiled. "I hoped. The temple tests showed you were worthy. I wanted to help you finish your journey." Before leaving, Jun and Suk buried Dai in a small ceremony. Jun used the armor's power to place a large stone as a marker. "I will keep my promise to him," Jun said. As Jun prepared his ship, Jin shared more knowledge with him. It showed him how to find the Volari homeworld in the Zeta system. It showed him the weaknesses of Volari ships and weapons. The Volari have been searching for Guardian technology for hundreds of years, Suk said. "Be careful. If they know you have the armor, they will do anything to get it." Jun nodded. "I understand the danger, but I have to try." "The armor chose well," Suk said, touching Jun's armored shoulder. "You have a good heart." As the ship lifted off, Jun felt Jin's presence in his mind, guiding him. The armor was now truly part of him. Together, they would find Hana. The stars waited ahead, and somewhere among them, so did the Volari homeworld. Jun's ship moved through space faster than before. The armor somehow made the engines work better. Jin showed him how to avoid Volari patrol ships and secret jump points that made the journey shorter. After 2 weeks, Jun reached the Zeta system. The Volari homeworld was the third planet from its sun. It was large and gray-blue, like the skin of the Volari themselves. Now comes the hard part, Jun said to himself. Finding Hana on an entire planet. Jin helped by connecting with the ship's systems. Through the armor, Jun could now see data from the planet. There were many cities, all with tall buildings. Millions of Volari lived there. Jun noticed something strange. In one area, far from the main cities, there was a place with high security. Many ships went in and out. That's where they would keep prisoners, Jun thought, and Jin sent back a feeling of agreement. Landing on the planet would be dangerous. Volari ships patrolled everywhere. Jun used the armor's power to make his ship look like a Volari cargo ship. Jin changed the signals it sent out too. Jun landed at a small port near the high security area. Using the armor's camouflage ability, he made himself invisible and left the ship. The Volari world was cold. The buildings were tall and made of a dark metal. Volari moved everywhere, all with 4 arms and blue-gray skin. Some wore uniforms that showed their rank. Jun moved carefully, staying invisible. He followed Volari soldiers to a large building with many guards. Jin told him that energy readings inside matched human life signs. Hana could be in there, Jun whispered. Getting inside was hard. Every door had guards and scanners. Jun watched and waited. Finally, he saw his chance when a supply truck arrived. He slipped inside the loading area with it. Inside the building, Jun saw something that made him angry. There were cells with clear walls. In each cell was a different alien species. Some Jun recognized, others he had never seen before. And there were humans, dozens of them. Men, women, even children. Some looked sick or hurt. Others sat still, like they had given up hope. Jin helped Jun find a computer terminal. The armor connected to it. Reading the Volari language, Jun searched for Hana's name. She's here, Jun said quietly when he found her information. Level 5, Cell 23. As Jun moved through the building, he had to be very careful. The armor's invisibility worked well, but he could still bump into things or make noise. On level 5, he found more security than below. These cells had special locks and more guards. Whatever was here, the Volari thought it was important. As Jun moved past Cell 19, he heard someone speaking Korean. He stopped and looked. Inside was a woman in a white coat, like doctors wear. She was talking to herself as she looked at a screen. These tests make no sense, she was saying. Human genetic structures shouldn't be able to do this. Jun decided to take a risk. He slipped into the cell when a guard opened the door to bring food. Inside, he stayed invisible until the guard left. Then he appeared in front of the woman, who gasped and almost screamed. Please, Jun said quickly. I won't hurt you. I'm human, like you. The woman stared at his armor. What are you? My name is Jun Kim. I'm looking for my daughter, Hana. The Volari took her. The woman's eyes grew wide. Hana Kim. I know her. I've been forced to help study her. Study her? What do you mean? Is she okay? My name is Mina, the woman said. I was a doctor on a colony ship when the Volari took us 2 years ago. They make me work for them, studying other species. Why are they interested in Hana? Jun asked. Mina looked around, afraid someone might hear. The Volari take people from many species to study how they adapt to different environments. They want to improve themselves. But Hana is special, Mina continued. Her genetic structure is unusual. She can heal faster than normal humans. The Volari are very interested in this. Jun thought about his wife, Hana's mother. She had been sick for years, but always recovered quickly from any treatment. Maybe this was why. I need to find her, Jun said. Can you help me? Mina nodded. I can use my access card to reach her cell, but there are hundreds of guards. How will you get her out? June let the armor change color, showing its true silver and blue form. I have help. Mina's eyes widened. Is that Guardian technology? The Volari have been searching for that for centuries. Yes, June said. And now I'm going to use it to free all the prisoners here. Mina led June through the halls of the research building. She used her access card at each door. June stayed invisible, following close behind her. Hana is kept in a special section, Mina whispered. Only the High Commander can enter freely. They took an elevator to a secure floor. 2 guards stood at the end of a long hall. Mina walked toward them with confidence. I need to check the special subject, she told the guards. Commander's orders. One guard looked at a screen. We don't have orders about this. Call him if you want, Mina said calmly. But he doesn't like to be disturbed during meals. The guards looked at each other. Then they stepped aside. Make it quick, Doctor. As Mina passed, June slipped by the guards. At the end of the hall was a large door with many locks. Mina used her card and pressed her hand on a scanner. The door opened. Inside was a room that looked more like a nice living space than a cell. There were books, comfortable furniture, and even plants. In the center, sitting on a couch, was a teenage girl. She was thin, with long dark hair. She looked up when the door opened. Hana, June whispered, becoming visible. Hana's eyes grew wide. She stood up quickly. Dad? Is that really you? June ran to her and hugged her tight. The armor felt strange against her, but he didn't care. He had found his daughter at last. I knew you would come, Hana said, tears in her eyes. No one believed me, but I knew. We need to go quickly, Mina said from the door. The guards will check soon. Suddenly, alarms began to sound throughout the building. Red lights flashed in the hallway. Too late, Mina said. They know something's wrong. June turned to Hana. Stay close to me. The armor will protect you. They moved into the hallway. The 2 guards were running toward them, weapons raised. June raised his hand, and blue energy shot out, knocking them down without killing them. This way, Mina said, leading them to an emergency exit. We need to free the other prisoners too. As they ran downstairs, Jin shared a plan with June. The armor could connect to the building's systems and open all cells at once, but it would need to connect to the main computer. Mina, where is the control center? June asked as they reached a lower level. Before she could answer, a group of Volari soldiers appeared, blocking their path. Behind them stood a larger Volari wearing ornate armor. He had more decorations on his 4 arms than the others. I am High Commander Krev, the large Volari said. You have something that belongs to me, human. 2 things, actually. June pushed Hana behind him. She belongs to no one, and neither does this armor. Krev's black eyes narrowed. Guardian technology. We have searched for it for generations. With it, the Volari can finally evolve beyond our limitations. You kidnap and hurt innocent people, June said. The armor wasn't meant for that. Yet here you are, using it for violence, Krev said. How are you different? I came to save my daughter. You take people to use them. Krev moved closer. That girl is more valuable than you know. Her genetic structure could help our entire species. Dad, Hana whispered from behind him. Mom's research. I think she was studying Guardian technology when she died. Maybe that's why I'm different. Jun was shocked. Had his wife known about the Guardians? Was that connected to Hana's unusual healing? Enough talk, Krev said. He pulled out a large weapon. Give me the girl and the armor, or we will take them from your dead body. The soldiers aimed their weapons at June. There were at least 20 of them. Even with the armor, fighting while protecting Hana and Mina would be hard. Jin showed June another option. The armor could create a shield around all 3 of them, but it would use a lot of energy. You want the armor's power, Jun said to Krev. Let me show you what it can do. Blue energy flowed from the armor, creating a glowing shield around June. Hannah, and Minna. The soldiers fired their weapons, but the energy blasts bounced off the shield. June concentrated, and the shield expanded suddenly, pushing the soldiers back against the walls. Only Krev remained standing. "Get to the control room," June told Mina. "Free everyone." Minna nodded and ran down a side hall. Krev fired his weapon at June. The blast was stronger than the others, pushing June back even with the armor's protection. "I studied the Guardians my whole life," Krev said. "This weapon was designed to fight their armor." June knew this would be the hardest fight of his life, but with Hannah finally at his side, he wasn't going to lose her again. "Stay behind me," he told Hannah. Then he charged at Krev, the armor glowing brighter than ever before. June and Krev fought in the wide hallway. The Volari commander was strong and skilled. His special weapon fired blasts that pushed through the armor's protection. Each hit made June step back. "The armor is wasted on a human," Krev said. "Give up now." June didn't answer. Instead, he focused on what Jin was showing him. The armor had more powers that he hadn't used yet. He just needed to believe in himself. Hannah watched from behind a fallen door. "Dad, you can do it," she called. Hearing his daughter's voice gave June strength. He stood straight and let the armor glow brighter. Blue light filled the hallway. "This ends now," Jun said. He moved faster than before, too fast for Krev to track. He hit the Volari commander hard, knocking his weapon away. Then he picked Krev up and threw him against the wall. Krev got up, all four arms ready to fight. "I have trained for combat my whole life, human. And I have something worth fighting for," June answered. They fought hand to hand. Krev was fast with his four arms, landing many hits, but the armor protected June and made him stronger. Finally, June landed a powerful blow that sent Krev to the floor. June stood over him, one hand glowing with energy, ready to end the fight for good. "Do it," Krev said. "Prove that humans are just as violent as we believe." June thought about everything the Volari had done. Taking Hannah, hurting Da, kidnapping people from many worlds. But then he remembered Da's last words. "Use it for good, not just revenge." June lowered his hand. "No, that's not what the Guardians would do. That's not what I will do." At that moment, alarms sounded throughout the building. Lights flashed. Doors opened everywhere. "What's happening?" Krev asked, afraid for the first time. Minna reached the control room. Jun said, "All prisoners are being freed." Thousands of captives from different species ran through the halls. Some had been prisoners for years. Human, alien, they all moved together toward the exits and landing areas where ships waited. Jun helped Hannah to her feet. "We need to go too." "You'll never escape," Krev said, still on the ground. "The Volari fleet will stop you all." Hannah looked at her father. "He's right. There are too many ships." Jin shared an idea with June. The armor could connect to the facility's communication system. It could send a message to everyone in the galaxy. "We won't run," Jun said. "We'll make everyone know what happened here." He went to a nearby computer panel. The armor connected to it, and Jin helped June access the Volari's secret files. He found records of all their experiments, all the people they had taken. "The Volari have broken galactic laws," Jun said. "Now everyone will know." Using the armor's power, Jun sent the files to every planet, every ship, and every station in the galaxy. No one could ignore such clear evidence. As they moved to leave the facility, they found Mina helping other humans toward the exit. "Ships are waiting," she said. "We can all escape now." Outside, they saw hundreds of freed prisoners boarding ships. Some Volari tried to stop them, but most were confused by the sudden chaos. June, Hannah, and Minna took a small fast ship. As they lifted off from the planet, they saw other ships doing the same. It looked like a flock of birds rising into the sky. "Will they come after us?" Hannah asked, looking back at the Volari world. "I don't think so," June said. The evidence we sent will keep them busy. The Galactic Council will have to act now. 3 days later, their ship reached Eridus 9. Sook was waiting for them when they landed. You did it, the old man said, smiling at June and Hannah. You found each other. And we found much more, June said. In the days that followed, news spread across the galaxy. The Volari were being investigated. Their leaders, including Krev, were arrested by the Galactic Council. Hannah looked through her mother's old research notes that June had saved. Mom was studying Guardian artifacts, she said. She believed they could help humanity. That must be why the Volari targeted you, Minna said. Your connection to the Guardians. June touched the armor, feeling Jin's presence in his mind. What will you do now? Sook asked him. June looked at his daughter, then at Minna, who had nowhere to return to. Then he thought of all the other people like them, whose lives had been changed by the Volari. The armor chose me for a reason, June said. The Guardians protected those who needed help. A week later, a new place began on Eridus 9. June, Hannah, Minna, and Sook started building a sanctuary near the temple, a place where people could come to be safe and to learn. And sometimes, people across the galaxy would tell stories of a figure in silver-blue armor who appeared when the innocent needed protection. A guardian who had returned.